What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week. Only 2 days left. We're going. Hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for joining me tonight. I've got some court, as always. Let's see. I've got 4 clips. We're going to start with Judge Webster. This one did happen a couple weeks ago. It's a good one. Now, this one has been shared a few times on other channels. So I generally just hold off on playing them so I don't overload YouTube with all the exact same content. But it's been a couple weeks, so hopefully you guys haven't seen it, or maybe you did and you forgot about it. But it's still a good one, so it's worth sharing. This is Judge Webster. This guy is clueless. All right, before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Last name Hamilton, first name Trevon.
Thank you.
Heather.
Right there.
We're on the record in 2024 TR 1121, State of Kansas versus Trevon Hamilton. Please announce appearances.
Judge, can you give me 1 minute?
Sure.
Cheryl Pierce on behalf of the state. I'm ready.
Okay.
Darren Patterson, Your Honor, appear on behalf of Trevon Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton does appear from Courthouse Security 1 video station. Would announce at this time that pursuant to the amended information filed June 12, 2024, that Mr. Hamilton will be entering a plea of guilty to count 1, driving while suspended, Class A, non-person misdemeanor. States agreed to dismiss count 2.
And is Mr. Bergier or Ms. Pierce here for this? Ms.
I'm
Pierce?
sorry, Judge, I am.
Okay. Ms. Pierce is, and that's the state's agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
He's pleading to count 1 as a
Driving while suspended, second.
second. Okay, that's what I was trying to get at. Thank you. Mr. Hamilton, how do you plead to the state's allegation that on April 14th of 2024 in Butler County, you were driving on a roadway at a time that your license was suspended, and that you'd have been suspended on January 4th, 2016 in Wichita Municipal Court for driving while suspended? How do you plead? Guilty? You are admitting that you did do the act alleged, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone making you enter this plea today by any threats or promises other than your plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that with this plea, you're giving up your right to trial and your right to appeal conviction?
Yes.
All right, and knowing that, you're freely and voluntarily entering this plea?
Yes.
Okay, so where were you driving in April of 2024 that the officer would have stopped you? Do you remember?
I was going to the lake.
To the lake there at El Dorado?
Yeah.
Okay, so the officer says Highway 254 East 20. Were you coming from Wichita or that area?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that would have probably put you on the highway at the place he says. So I will find jurisdiction, and I will find that your plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered with a factual basis, because you do admit that prior conviction in Wichita, you said. You admit you did have a driving while suspended in Wichita a number of years ago?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I will find you guilty. And recommendations for sentencing, Ms. Pierce?
Judge, we discussed a 6 months underlying a fine, and Darren, you're gonna have to give her the amount because I don't know that I wrote it down correctly. 1 year of non-reporting probation. I think there's a 5 days or 10 days with house arrest with work release. The state has no objection to the 10 days with work release. House arrest with the work release, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Patterson, anything further?
Your Honor, we'd ask court to adopt recommendations of the 6-month controlling $100 fine plus cost. That he do 10 days of house arrest with work release. And I am court appointed in this case, Judge, and would also ask the court to consider 1 year non-reporting probation.
All right, I was trying to find a good place to pause since this came up twice. Yes, Vic, he done messed up. Now, we don't know if it was actually him that made the mistake or if it was someone in his office, but they almost had to dismiss a DWI while boating case a couple days ago because they didn't get the discovery to the defense after a year, after multiple requests for certain pieces of discovery, and they still haven't received it. So there was a long hearing. I think it might have been Monday. I think it was Monday. There was a long hearing, and yeah, it might be dismissed because of the prosecutor's office. Again, it might not be Jay Regeer's fault, but he took the brunt of it. Judge Webster wasn't happy. I did make a video of it. I think I released that yesterday. So if you want to see it, it's a video from yesterday.
Okay, thank you. Where do you work, Mr. Hamilton?
I work with people already right now.
It's a temp agency, Judge.
Oh, a temp agency. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. You're going to get a 6-month sentence. That'll be my order. Your fine will be $100. Court costs $108, and attorney fees of $250. So the total due will be $458. Will you need some time to pay that?
Yes.
And how much time do you think you'll need to pay that?
Not really sure right now.
Okay.
Couple months.
Okay. I am going to grant you probation, sir, but I'm going to make it reporting because I want to make sure that you get this jail time or house release done, and I want to make sure you get your fines and costs paid. So I'm going to need to add a $60 supervision fee to that. So your total comes to $518. I'm going to order.
Vic, it was just a video release that I released on its own. It wasn't part of the live last night. On another note, Doc Ock, good to see you.
That you pay at least 1/12 of that each month. Now you can pay more, and I would encourage that if you're able to, but you're going to be ordered to pay 1/12. The first payment will be due November 21st, 2024, and you'll have a 12th due each month on the 21st day thereafter. I will allow you, do you work full-time with this temp agency, or do you have a job right now?
No.
You don't have an assignment right now?
No. It's just whatever job I respond to.
Okay, well, I'm not going to give you work release, but I will give you the house arrest opposed to jail if that's what you want. You can either do 5 days in jail or 10 days in house arrest, but the house arrest will require the ankle monitoring. You can't leave the house for any reason for 10 days. And you'll have to pay for the electronic monitoring. So which would you rather have, 5 days jail or 10 days house arrest?
So I can't work at all?
Well, you don't have a job right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I get paid daily when I do go to those jobs. So it's just whatever I respond to, and whatever the assignment is sometimes it's different sites.
Judge, if the court would consider it, it sounds like it's something that electronic monitoring can call and verify that he has an actual job. They can probably talk to his employer and verify those things.
Well, that sounds awfully burdensome on electronic monitoring, trying to keep up with that. I mean, he could change different jobs every day and they'd have to try to verify it every day. When was the last time you worked a job?
Well, back in August, but I've been in jail though in Wichita. So
What were you in jail in Wichita for?
for some other stuff,
Well, I know, but what
it didn't have anything to do with driving.
Well, what was it?
There's some other stuff that I'm still trying to fight. But I need.
You're not going to tell me? You're not going to answer my question? All right, 5 days jail and you can begin it right now. If you haven't worked since August, I don't think you're going to be working anytime soon. And since you're being defiant and disrespectful,
Not being
I'm not
defiant. I ain't
answering
even got nothing to do
questions.
with you or this court right now. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Be asking me that.
I
Whatever.
think your priors and current charges always have something to do with what you're in court for next.
It has nothing to do with driving. You putting me in jail for driving.
Well, that's part of why I'm putting you in jail. Yes, just a moment. Mr. Hamilton.
You knew she was going to look it up. Dude, just answer the question. Hey, I do think that's a little extreme to be thrown in jail for avoiding
Is that a Kansas
question.
case? Will you tell me that much?
Sorry, I was trying to talk while she was looking it up. Yeah, that is a little extreme to, oh, you're not answering my question? Okay, 5 days jail. Yeah, I don't agree with that. But the defendant, dude, just answer the question. It's not that hard. Yeah, you're in court. They can look it up. I don't know what you're trying to hide. Maybe you don't want it on YouTube. If that's the case, just say it.
You said it's Wichita. Strike that. I strike that. I'm not going to be negotiating with you. 5 days in jail. You can go into custody now and serve that. As soon as you get through with that 5 days jail, you need to report to court.
I don't get no time served. I was already in jail for.
No.
I got to do another 5 day, full 5 days.
5 days starting today, sir. And if you want parole or probation after that, you must report directly to the court service office as soon as you get out.
I don't understand why I can't still get the house arrest. Just
Because you haven't
want to know
worked
something
since
about
August, so you don't need work release.
Okay,
You
so
won't
why
tell
can't I
me
get the
anything
house arrest?
about your situation or your history. So
I don't understand why I still
you
can't
can't
get
trust
the
me.
house
I
arrest.
can't trust you, sir.
Trust me to what? What do you?
Okay.
All I'm trying to do is go to. I asked for work. You saying I can't go to work? I don't understand why you're making me do the jail time. And you said the house arrest was just fine.
Okay.
You just didn't want
5
me to work.
days in jail starting now. Fines total 518. I will give you probation after you get out of your 5 days, but you can lose that probation if you don't do what I tell you to do, and if you don't comply with your probation officer, and be a little more forthcoming with your probation officer.
They've already taken him away, Judge.
They took him away. Okay, well, I did say now. Wasn't quite through with the hearing yet today, officer. We're not.
Okay, I just had to get him hooked up, Judge. Hold on.
No, I'm going to recess it. I don't need to reiterate it for him. I've already said it for the record. You and I just are usually in such perfect sync on these things. Today, we're kind of a little out of here.
I got it standing right here, Judge.
All right. Okay, if you're back there, then.
I got him right here, Judge.
All right. Okay. All right, Mr. Hamilton, I just want to make sure we're clear on this. You're getting a 6-month jail sentence, probation after serving 5 days, starting now. That probation will be for 1 year. You will be ordered to pay at the rate of $112 per month, with your first payment due November 21st. and then a payment due on the 21st of each month thereafter until paid in full. All standard probation conditions will go over, and the probation officer will cover those with you. Do not violate any laws. Report to court services immediately upon release from your 5 days. Failure to do any of these will amount. Failure to report or failure to do any of these conditions will result.
There's a fruit plate.
Someone, thank you, can result in revocation of your probation. Now, on the other hand, Mr. Hamilton, once you get your jail time served, your money's owed paid, and if you continue not to violate the laws, then you can ask for early termination of probation. So keep that in mind. Once your jail time is served, once your money is paid, and if you do not violate any more laws, your probation can terminate early if your probation officer feels that appropriate to request it. Now, you've told me you have something going on in Wichita, maybe Sedgwick County, I don't know. But whatever that was, it would not have occurred prior to your probation. So unless you get into something new, I won't use that against you. But starting this moment forward, no new violations, follow your probation, pay and serve, and you can get this court out of your life. Okay? You
Why can't I
understand,
do the
sir?
10 days? Why can't I do the 10 days house arrest?
Sir, because you openly and defiantly refuse to ask questions. You refuse to cooperate with me.
Oh,
So I can't.
you say you don't
trust
trust me.
And you told me you hadn't had an actual job since August. So there's no point for house arrest with work release. There.
Okay,
That's my answer.
Okay, so why can't I just do the house arrest and why do I have to be in jail? I don't
I
understand
told
why
you
I
the
can't
answer
do
to
house
that, and
arrest.
I'm not going to keep repeating myself. So Deputy, now he may go, and we are in recess. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that one was a weird one. Yeah, it was just weird. All right, we got a lot of things that happened in the last 5 minutes. First off, we have two raids, KCC and Biggin, almost at the exact same time. I think I put up the signal. I need to do that every night. KCC, thank you. Biggin, thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming over. This is just a random court clip night, so there isn't anything to catch you up on. So sit back and relax. Grab your Coca-Cola and your popcorn. Let's see. We did get some memberships. Vic, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I do appreciate it. And welcome to the 5 new members. That is awesome. Okay. We are jumping to Judge Stevens next. This is this is what you don't do when you're in front of Judge Stevens. Yeah, I mean, you just got to know better. And I feel like the defense attorneys that have these type of defendants as clients probably tell them that. It's like, hey, this is one of the harder judges you ever want to come up against. So mind your P's and Q's. That's it. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way in. I would sure appreciate it. Big in KCC, thank you so much. All right, Judge Stevens, let's go.
We can have a hearing and we'll sign it. We'll do the signing later when it gets fixed. Well, we can move the case and we don't have to have anything signed as long as it's memorialized here. And when this pad gets going again, then we ought to be fine.
Wixom, right when I finished saying the sentence, I knew I said it backwards. I didn't know if anyone would notice, though. So thank you so much for noticing my imperfections. It's good to see you, bud.
We now call 18-29522, the state of Texas versus James Gregory Westbrook. You are Mr. Westbrook? Sir. Present with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. There is a motion to revoke probation that was filed, sir, on March 21st of this year. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, this and raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make today will be the truth, but the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sir.
Roll your hand. In summary, this motion alleges that on September 17th, 2018, in this criminal district court You were sentenced to 10 years in prison. That was suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years for evading arrest and detention with a motor vehicle, a third-degree felony. Is all of that true, sir?
Yes, sir.
Allegation 1 states that you probation order condition number 14 of your probation order you signed here dated September 17th of 2018. Number 14 states, among other things, that you shall be courteous and professional at all times, especially with interacting with court officers and probation officers and staff. Are you clearly familiar with that?
Sure.
Allegation number 1 states in a telephone conversation with the probation officer, with Miss LeBlanc, who is one of the most professional and courteous people I know, and I've been around a long time, that you failed to conduct yourself in a professional and courteous manner, especially with her, in your vulgar statements. You can take your probation and tie a pretty little bow around it and shove it up. You know what you said. I've already reported you to federal authorities about F word up my extraditions. Did you really say that?
I may have. She called my father several times.
You're not calling her a liar, are you? She says that's what you
No,
said.
I'm not calling her a liar, but I'm just saying that.
What have you lost your memory?
No.
You either said that. Do you
Okay,
use this type of vulgar language? When I speak, you stop. You use this kind of vulgar language in a regular way, do you? You can't even remember? Or is this is this a unique situation? Do you do this all the time, or was this an extraordinary event?
Do you want the explanation and answer?
I just asked you a question, yes or no. Do you do this normally, or is this an extraordinary event?
It's extraordinary event.
You should remember it. Do you remember it or not?
Yes, I do.
You said that to her.
Yes.
Do you understand what the probation office does? Do you even know what they do? They try to help you be successful on probation. Were you here when I was talking about the 85% success rate we have?
Yes, I heard.
Which is twice the rate of the national average, which is 70%. We're at 85. I mean, they are a dedicated group of professionals. I'm honored to be working with them. I've worked with them for almost 18 years.
All right, can someone do that math for me and make it make sense? They're at 85% of successful probations, but the national average is at 70, and he claimed that they're twice as high. I'm sure there's something in there that made it make sense, but I think he left something out for us because 85 is not twice 75. It's not.
Years. I worked with federal probation officers for 20 years, and they were great. These are no less capable. You would be that rude to this lady who's dedicated to your success. That's what's ironic. Oh, is this allegation true or not? Are you pleading true voluntarily and because it is true?
Yes, sir.
You understand by a knowing and voluntary plea of true to one or more allegations of probation, that's enough to grant this motion to revoke probation. Your probation can be revoked. You can now be sentenced to no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true to that?
So,
I find you pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true.
yes, I do.
Is there agreement on this?
Yes, sir.
When was
5
that?
years TDC.
When was that done? I don't have it on this.
Well, that was on the plea papers that are in the
Okay,
computer.
well, okay, that's still working. Let me see the percentage rate.
I don't have it good. See it?
So what I'm guessing is the average Texas probation rate might be at, let's see, what did he say? He said they're at 85, 70. So it's, what would that be? 55%? Yeah. I'm going to guess that a lot of places in Texas are at 55%. They're at 85. So that's how he's doubling it. It's like, yeah, everywhere else is at 55. The national average is at 70. We're at 85. So we're twice that. That's what I'm thinking that he meant to say. But yeah. And yes, Durball, I did. Out of everything that's happening in this clip, the math is what stuck out to me. Yeah, my bad. All right, let's go.
On computer first time.
Hey, look at you, Vic.
Thank you.
Making it make sense. You're making the math make sense. That's a lot better answer than what I just gave. Oh, don't challenge me on that. Do not challenge me on that, Michael. I am the master of dad jokes. I will make you guys know that I'm goofy and tell you that I'm goofy at the same time. Sorry for not taking out this downtime, guys. Exactly. Why don't you ever see a rhinoceros hiding in a tree? Because it's hiding. Don't worry, guys. I'm here all week. Can do this all day long. Dead time dad jokes. There's a name for a channel.
Looks like, as far as I know, you have just this one felony conviction in this court that you're on probation for. Would that be right?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, since that PSI, he has had convictions out of the state of Georgia. Based on the first motion to revoke, those were the allegations alleged in.
I was going to get through the misdemeanors here because it covers about 3 pages.
Yes,
How
sir.
many
He also
misdemeanors?
has another, I believe, state jail felony out of Chambers County that occurred after he was released from Jefferson County or something like that.
I was arrested for all this. When I got put on probation here, I still had warrants out of Georgia, so I had to go back to Georgia. All of it. I haven't been arrested since 2018 for anything whatsoever.
But your Chambers County case occurred before this.
No, same day.
Okay.
I got arrested. I got my report here. Left from here. Got my probation. Left from here. Went to Chambers County. Transferred there. Went to prison there. Left from prison there. Transferred there. Went to prison in Georgia. Haven't had any arrests since then. Probation was supposed to have been transferred from here to Fulton County.
Went to prison in Georgia for what? For the possession of methamphetamine?
No, it's prior to that, stuff I've taken.
I don't see any prison sentences here.
Your Honor, those occurred after his date of probation here in Texas. Yes, sir.
Well, why are they in the motion to revoke probation?
They're in the motion to revoke that was previously disposed of in October of 23.
Committed the offense of fleeing or attempting to elude out of Carroll County, Georgia. Committed the offense of fleeing to elude. Those were 2 offenses on 2 separate days. Looks like one July 9th, the other July 10th of 19.
I believe those are the first amended motion to revoke community supervision that was filed on 8.
How many misdemeanor convictions do you have, sir?
Excuse me, sir.
How many misdemeanor convictions do you have?
I have no idea, sir. Probably 10.
14.
14.
How come I know more about your life than you do? Are we talking about driving while under influence, theft by shoplifting, simple battery, family violence, disorderly conduct, child abuse, driving under influence, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, driving under influence of alcohol, driving under influence of alcohol, driving without a valid license, disorderly conduct, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, evading arrest or detention. Among other things. Okay, so we're trying to, this was 5 years, is that right?
Yes, sir.
After all of this criminal history, and then the obnoxious insults to this lady, I'm supposed to cut you a break? You're looking at 10 years in prison. She deserved better than that. All of them did. From you. Oh, that takes it back. I'm sure she feels much better for all the time that this happened. Let's see. This happened when? On January 10th, 10 months ago. You're apologizing now? I'm not taking this deal. No way. you don't treat people who work for me like that and serve the county. No. We'll just have a hearing and let it rise.
Can we sell it now?
I'm not making a deal with you.
But it's just,
You're rude. Obnoxious. Can't see if you treat someone who's really their commitment in life is to help you. If you would treat them that way, what would you do to someone else? Shame on you. Set this for a hearing. We'll decide where I go, but I'm not accepting a deal of 5 years. Not for your obnoxious, rude, selfish attitude. That hurts people. You don't seem to care. But I'm going to ensure that justice is served. Thank you. We'll set this for a hearing.
Tell him how you really feel, Judge Stevens. Guy was rude. I really wanted Judge Stevens, to actually read off whatever was written on the report where he was cussing. I think it'd be hilarious to hear Judge Stevens curse. I don't know why. I just think it'd be funny. Yeah, that guy was rude. Don't give the court staff attitude. And I've said this a bunch of times. That is the worst thing you can do. It really is. Judge Stevens will probably react better to it, and most judges probably will, if you say it to their face, then say it to someone that works for them. Or not works for them. Obviously, the judge isn't the boss, but I think you guys know what I mean. All right, moving on. This next one is kind of weird. It's a traffic case, and if I remember correctly, it is husband and wife both got ticketed for close to the same thing on the exact same traffic stop. If I remember it correctly, and I hope I do, because that's why I saved it. But yeah, it happened last week, so I could be wrong. They might not be related at all, but still interesting. Okay, let's go. Also, I don't know this judge's name. I believe this is out of Washington State. I honestly don't remember though. Okay, let's go.
Hello. This is a safety belt violation. Ms. Roberts, how do you wish to proceed?
I would like to contest it.
Okay, I will let you know that you are eligible for a deferral.
Okay, I would still like to contest it.
All right. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what would you want to tell the court?
I would like to tell them that we were at a complete stop when the officer had pulled into the gas station, and I was about to get out the car because we were on our way to help somebody push their car. So I was about to get out into the passenger seat. So when I didn't have a seatbelt on, we were already at a complete stop.
Okay. And you're parked at the gas. Where were you?
We were entering the gas station and parked behind the car that we were ready to push.
Okay. So when did you unlock your seatbelt?
As soon as the driver put it into park, I unlocked my seatbelt, and then the officer was already coming into the driveway of the gas station, and we were already parked, and I was already unbuckling, and then that's when he turned on his lights.
Okay, were you driving?
No, I was in the back seat.
Okay. This officer's report said, I observed the defendant driving in the city of Tacoma while not wearing a seatbelt. That's the end of the summary. And you're saying, it's your testimony that you weren't even driving and that the car had come to a complete stop.
Yes.
Okay. One moment.
She got a seatbelt ticket in the back seat. The officer left the vaguest summary that the officer could leave. Seems sketchy to me. The officer just wanted to write a ticket. And
My computer's being slow. One moment.
I think the officer was just hoping she paid the ticket and that was it.
Okay, and ma'am, if you could, excuse me, if you can put your email in the chat. Ma'am, I'm going to dismiss this case. The officer's report is really too short for me to make a determination. I don't know from the report who was driving. He didn't say that he stopped and asked for information from the driver. I don't see anything about where you were sitting in the car. I just don't have enough information to make a reasoned determination of committed here.
Awesome, thank you.
You will get an email this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Right. Putney Roland.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me bring you up. 1 second, please.
Okay.
I think I know. Their last names were close. I think I thought that they were the same name when I was first watching this. Maybe he says it, but I feel like something connects him and the lady that was right before him. I could be wrong. But I don't know why I connected the two. I thought that it was the same traffic stop. This is why I should probably watch the videos before I play them on the lives, huh? Yeah, and at least it used to be. I don't know if it still is, but if you're over the age of 18, you don't need a seatbelt in the back seat in the state of Ohio. I don't know if that's still the
All
case.
right, sir, you are eligible for.
But that was a law when I was learning to drive when I was 16. So that's really, it's just interesting that the officer saw her get out of the back seat, gave her a ticket for a seatbelt, and then said that she was driving. Now the officer's not there, so we don't know. We don't know.
For a deferral, how do you wish to proceed? You have two infractions, safety belt and insurance.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to contest that.
Both of them?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What would you like to tell the court?
I was not operating a vehicle by the license plate BYT 0370.
You said you were not operating the vehicle?
No, ma'am. I was operating a vehicle BTY.
Okay, what was the plate that you first mentioned?
BYT 0370.
And what's your license plate?
BT. I was the driver when I pulled into that 7-Eleven with Lysandra. I was the driver of the vehicle. I was the one driving the vehicle. We came to a complete stop. The officer pulled in shortly behind after us. As I'm about to get out the car to push the vet's car who I was going to help push back, so I pushed back out of the spot so I could give his car a push to where he had needed it parked. The officer had he had turned his lights on after we was already at a complete stop.
All right. I'm glad I was right. They were in the same car. It is the same traffic stop. That makes me feel a lot better. Also, how did the officer put that both of these people were driving a car? How do you do that? I don't. Yeah, there's something weird going on with this officer. That's all I'm going to say.
We're not moving. It was not a moving violation.
And he said that because when we was coming across the bridge on 84th and Tacoma Mall Boulevard, he was in the far left lane. I was in the far right lane, which is 4 lanes apart, really 5. And he swore up and down he seen me was without a seatbelt, and he seen Lysandra in the back seat behind our newborn daughter, on the side of our newborn daughter, that he seen that we both didn't have seatbelts on. When the person we actually picked up was also verified that we all had our seatbelts on. We don't move around like that, not having any seatbelts.
Okay, so here's the officer's report. I observed the defendant driving in the city of Tacoma while not wearing a seatbelt. The defendant was unable to provide insurance. He told me that he did not have insurance.
For the vehicle that he was, I have insurance for the vehicle. It's not underneath that license plate number.
Okay.
Sorry.
One second.
How do you have
Okay, so
insurance?
did you have insurance under?
How do you have insurance for that vehicle, but it's not under that license plate? How did I know? I think insurance runs on VIN numbers, but you still have to put down the license plate. I don't know. It's been years since I've had the same auto insurance for years, so I don't really remember. But I feel like it's both. You can't put a VIN number and then put a different license plate. That would be a registration thing. I'm confused. I'm really confused. Someone make this make sense.
The BTY 0370.
At that time, no, because we had just became homeless, and I had my other car that had the register, that had the tabs and everything up to date, got repoed. So I was just in the Suburban that I physically owned myself. I didn't have any no payments or anything. It was just been sitting. So I got that after I had to start using that because I got a family at 9. So I lost my job. I've been in the midst of trying to put things back together and get us back stable. And
Understand. Okay. On the failure to wear a safety belt, I am dismissing that charge. I do see that. Is your car a tan Chevrolet Tahoe?
Yes, ma'am. Suburban.
All right. Yeah. The vehicle license plate, he wrote that down. That's what we call a scrivener's error. That's a mistake. All right, that the officer made. Your testimony was that you did not have insurance at that time. I am going to find you committed on the insurance, sir. I'm not going to find you committed on the seat belt. Sir, if you put your email in the chat. Oh, you do have his email. Never mind. We've got your email.
– Just wait till you hear the price of the ticket and watch how he responds.
Even for how can he certify? How is that an error acceptable when he certified under oath that all that information was correct? How is that acceptable?
Because people make small mistakes, and you were driving that particular type of vehicle, and the flip of a number, it's what we call a scrivener's error. So that is a total of $559 by February 5th, or set up a time payment plan by that time.
Okay, even as someone that's in my situation, like I lost everything. I have 7 kids. I have to worry about paying $500 something
You can do, well, I asked you if you wanted to mitigate it. You didn't want to mitigate it. You could do 37 hours of community service would take care of $559. That would be due by February 5th. So you can make a combination of payment or community service. But 37 hours will take care of all of that.
Okay, man. All right.
All right, thank you. You may sign off.
All right. I don't know if Washington does it this way. I think Michigan does it this way, where if it's an informal hearing, then it's which is what that was. You have to request a formal hearing, and then you have to pay a bond to have it. And during the formal hearing, the officer has to show up. The informal hearing, it's just based on the report the officer made. That's how I understand it. At least in the state of Michigan, where I watch majority of my court. I don't know how it is in Ohio. I haven't had a traffic ticket. I've never fought a traffic ticket, actually. I've always just paid them because I've always been guilty of it. But I don't know how Washington does it, but yeah. The vague reports alone would cause me to fight that. It's like, no, this doesn't make any sense. But he admitted to it. He admitted to not having insurance, so there's not much he could do. Okay, let's see. We got one more clip left. This is, you know what? I still don't really know if this is a magistrate or a judge, but it's Norbeck. This is the one we call Judge Biggin because he kind of looks like Biggin. So yeah, we're going to go move to his court. This one was a good one. Now, the defendant in this he's calling in by phone. He's not on camera. He's a little tough to hear at times, but it's good. This one's good. Okay, let's go.
All right, so we are back on the record. This is file 2402367, SC Ignite Credit Union versus Flores. Mr. Flores, you said that at this point in time, you do not think you owe the credit union back this $1,566.71. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Then I'm going to have proofs there with you, Becky. First of all, could you tell us your whole name and tell us what it is you do for the credit union?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a magistrate too, but I feel like at times he's referred to himself as judge. So that's where my confusion is. I've called him magistrate for a long time, but over the last couple of weeks, I feel like judge has come up. Yeah, I don't know. He's magistrate. I believe you. It's magistrate.
Sure. My whole name is Rebecca Lynn Aldridge. I'm a collection specialist for the Ignite Credit Union.
All right. And then we are here on Mr. Flores' case. What is the nature of the action here? What is it that you're saying has happened that he would owe money to the credit union?
Sure. So he had an account with us, a savings and a checking account that he drew negative. And with that account being negative, was never paid back. So he owes us money for the negative checking and savings account that he had with us.
And that's the balance, $1,566.71.
Yes. And he is stating that he was in jail. These transactions happened in the beginning of the year, and he didn't go to jail until the end of the year.
Right.
So he was not locked
in jail
up.
for 2 years. I was in jail for the last 2 years. What are you talking about?
Okay, so sir, let me explain how this goes. And this checking account is just his name?
The checking account is just in
mine.
his.
I just got out of jail. Your Honor, you can look me up. I went to jail back on December of whatever that year was. I didn't get out till July 9th.
No, sir. Sir, we have to be more specific than that. You can't say whatever that year was. When were you incarcerated?
December of 2022. All the way through. Correct. All the way through.
Then when did you get out?
July 9th of 2024. All 3 months ago.
So you were incarcerated for about a year and a half. A year and 7 months.
Yes, sir. You can look me up. I left from Allegan County right there. Look me up.
And then, and that was here in our jail?
Yes, sir. I went from there to prison.
So, all right, because that's not correct, sir. You can't be locked up in jail for over a year.
Do you hear what I said?
Can't happen.
Do you hear what I
Jail
said, sir?
is-
I went to jail
Jail
for
is
4
when
months.
you're locked up. Listen to me.
Are you?
Jail is when you're locked up for under a year. Prison is when you go for more than a year.
I know that. Do you hear what I'm saying, though? I got locked
Well,
up
no,
in
you
Allegan
just told me
County
you were
jail.
here in Allegan County Jail from December 2022 to
No.
July 2024.
No, from December of 2022 till April 10th of 23. And then I went straight from there, from Allegan County, straight to prison until July 9th of 2024.
Yeah, he wasn't really. I'm not going to say he wasn't listening. When the judge talks, you're supposed to stop talking. That's court rule number 1, right? So when the judge was talking, the defendant was talking. We heard what the defendant was saying, but the judge didn't because he was talking. So yeah, he did explain it multiple times, but yeah, if the judge was talking, he didn't hear you. So that was a waste of 2 minutes, but it was kind of entertaining.
We had him on ATM footage before that. We have him on cameras.
Ms. Aldridge, it really wouldn't matter for purposes of a small claims hearing. So, sir, essentially, here's what's happening. Someone is spending money in an account that is solely attributable to you. And so
Well, that's fine, but she says they got me on, camera. That's impossible. I was incarcerated.
Mr. Flores.
Go ahead.
And I
Yes.
told her, stop talking. It's my turn. I know it's hard when you're on the phone rather than video, but I'm going to talk for a while, so just listen.
I'm sorry. I don't understand.
We wouldn't even, okay, listen. We wouldn't even get into whether or not that's you or not, okay? For purposes of a small claims hearing. So here's the situation. You have an account with the credit union. That account is in your name. In other words, you have the power to draw on that account, and you have the power to authorize people to draw on that account. And someone could draw on that account that doesn't have permission, right? Those are the 3 scenarios. In the first 2 scenarios, if this account were to get overdrafted, checks are taking money out and there's no money in this account to cover it, it has a negative balance, $1,566.71. You understand what we mean by that, right?
Yeah, I understand that. And I also had overdraft protection.
All right. So here is how this works. If it was you, then of course you owe the money back to the credit union.
Exactly.
Now say it was,
I'm an adult.
okay, but now, like I said, stop talking and just listen to me. If it was your friend Bob and you told Bob.
All right. What I'm guessing is he just said he had overdraft protection. Now, that's essentially a line of credit, right? So however much they're claiming, whatever happened, it went negative. He got a line of credit. You still need to pay that back. You just don't get the overdraft fees. But if he was incarcerated, he didn't have the opportunity to pay it back. And then now they're essentially in collections. And they sued him. This is a small claims court. But that is the underlying what's going on here. But the defendant's attitude is why he made the video.
Oh, here's my card. Go ahead and use the card. And Bob did it. That still means you would owe the credit union back the money. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I never gave anybody.
If it was you, or if it was somebody you let do it, you owe the credit union back both times. Now, if somebody did it that did not have permission, like you say you were incarcerated, someone got your card and is taking money out of the ATM. At the end of the day, you still owe that money to the credit union. Now, there's 2 things that you could do instead of owe money to the credit union. One is you could go make a police report and say, hey, look, the credit union says I made these withdrawals. There's no way I made these withdrawals. I was incarcerated. And what you would have is a police report to then show me. And then I would say, hey, You reported this as a crime. I'm not going to order that you owe that to the credit union. Or
So all I have to do is make a police report?
listen to me. Or if, say you let Bob, you told Bob, oh, hey, you can use the card while I'm incarcerated, and Bob racked up all the money. You would still get ordered to pay the credit union, but then you could be a plaintiff and you could sue Bob and say, hey, Bob made me go negative on this balance.
Yo, dude, stop talking. What the judge is saying, or magistrate, Judge Biggin, what he's telling you is it's irrelevant. Everything you're saying is irrelevant to what's going on right now. The bank is going to get a judgment against you that you owe back. You can sue. You can file a police report if someone stole your identity while you're in jail. That's a fight that you can have, just not today. Calm down, take a breath, and listen. You don't like listening.
I'm just telling you what the different scenarios are. But right now, with the evidence that I have, you could tell me all day it wasn't you. You didn't file a police report. You didn't say it was a crime until you got sued in small claims. I would order you
I
have to
went to
pay
them
this
when I
money
got
back.
out of jail.
Listen
When I
to
got out
me.
of prison, I went to them.
Okay, but that was July of 2024. Did you ever report this as a crime?
No, because I went to them and told them I was going to get the proof of incarceration. But now that I figured since I was going to court, you could easily look me up and see that I was incarcerated and see that I didn't do these transactions.
Okay, listen.
That's simple. That's simple.
Here's the problem. You're telling, as a judicial branch, I wouldn't do your investigation for you to prove that it really wasn't you. What I have is a credit union who is due this money.
Okay, who do I got to give my proof of incarceration to?
Well, first of all, you don't have any proof of incarceration. You're just
Yes, I
telling me
do.
you
I
were
right there now.
incarcerated.
I have it right here on me. What do you mean I don't have proof of incarceration? I have it on me. You want me to send you a picture?
Sir, are you in court right now?
Yes, I'm in court, aren't I?
On the phone?
Yeah.
So you don't have any proof of incarceration to hand me right now. You also don't have any proof of incarceration that you sent to court when you knew you were being sued for this very same matter.
Whatever. That's irrelevant. I was in prison, dude. Carry on though. What do I got to do?
So here's what you have to do. You're going to get ordered that you owe this money to the credit union today. Well, you can say that, but until you report it as a crime, you're essentially just saying, nah, I don't owe the money.
I was incarcerated, Your Honor, or whoever you are, referee.
All right, listen to me. When did you find out you were getting sued by the credit union?
About 4 days ago.
All right.
When I got served.
So you only got served to be here 4 days ago?
Something like that. They're trying to find me, and they know I'm on parole, and whoever the bailiff was wouldn't even call my parole agent or anything. It was ridiculous.
Sir, why is everyone else supposed to solve your problems for you?
Because they're the ones looking for me. I ain't looking for them.
This claim and affidavit was filed in September.
I don't care when it was filed.
Okay, so I am going to order damages in the amount of $1,566.71 and costs in the amount of $119.16. Sir, there was a path that you could have easily avoided this, but you did none of that work.
Nobody fucking told me anything. What are you talking about?
What do you mean no one told you anything? You got a piece of paper saying you're being sued by a credit union for overdrafting your checking account.
Whatever, dude. You're
then
ridiculous.
you showed up in court.
You're not a
You
judge,
showed up
are you?
for-
You're not even a judge. You just told me I wasn't in court. Did you not 5 minutes ago just tell me I was not in court or something? Come on, guy.
Yes, because you said you had proof on you to give to me.
What's your name again, sir?
Dan Norbeck.
So you're not even a judge.
No, sir, I'm the magistrate who is hearing your small claims hearing right now. So your right to appeal is, if you disagree with this finding, you have 7 days to appeal this. That window of opportunity closes after 7 days. Secondly, you must come in and file for that appeal in writing. You cannot just call the court and ask for it. Do you understand your rights on appeal?
Nope.
Okay, which one of those two parts do you not understand, sir?
He doesn't understand any of it. Judge, just stop. Just stop. He's not listening to you anymore. He thinks you're wrong. He's clearly right. He's clearly right. All right, there's about a minute left of this, guys, so I'm going to let the rest of this video play out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this evening. Thank you, Biggin and KCC, for the raids. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Quick reminder, I am off tomorrow night, Bengals game. Of course, Who Day, let's go. So I will not be streaming tomorrow night. I'll still have videos out tomorrow afternoon and morning, but I will not be back till Friday night for a live stream. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I hope you guys have a great tomorrow night, and go Bengals. Yeah, that's all I got. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. Now I'm talking in circles. That usually means it's time to go. I'm going to go look for someone to raid. You know what? If there's multiple people, generally it's only been Lone Wolf lately. Let's see who we got. Oh, I got to refresh. What do we got? Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. So we raided Lone Wolf last night. Looks like KDZ and KFAR are both hanging out. I usually raid KDZ. KFAR and KDZ do they simulcast. So they're both streaming from each of their own channels, but they're hanging out together. You know what? KFAR has enough subs. We'll go to KDZ. No, I never raid KFAR. Let's go to KFAR. We'll do KFAR tonight. We'll go KFAR. Okay, we're raiding KFAR. You guys have a great rest of your evening. We have Lone Wolf, KDZ, and KFAR all streaming right now. You guys can pick whatever pleasure you like. Just tell them I said hi wherever you go. And if you don't go anywhere, have a great rest of your night. Sleep well, and I will see you guys tomorrow. You are awesome. Until next time, bye.
Explain it to you again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm good. I was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. Then you are all set. I will draw this up and send it out to parties. I'm going to go ahead and release parties at this time.